Hey Dan, Josh. So just a little bit of reassembly stuff with the Beaver. Everything is pretty straightforward except for the tail wheel and the elevator push rod. Maybe a little bit tricky, but everything else you can just follow the instructions in the manual, which is available online. I wanted to show you the tail wheel real quick. This is kind of the order. So I'm going to put these two small screws. Let's see, where is it? That one right there, another small screw, and put them back in here, holding the tail wheel in just to keep it in place during shipping. There's also going to be one other screw, which is this one, which I'll just tape onto the tail wheel. So this one goes up here and comes out here and bolts the vertical stabilizer in. But let's see. You'll need to put this long screw in first before you secure the tail wheel. So basically just take the two screws out of the tail wheel, move the tail wheel out of the way, stick the long one in, and you're good. Reassembling the tail wheel, or reassembling the tail itself, will be a little tricky. There's a push rod in here, right there. That's for the elevator. And this goes on first, and then the vertical stabilizer goes on second, and then you tighten that long screw. The tricky thing is that you've got to get that push rod in here before you can cinch anything down. You might be able to kind of pry or pull this up, and then hold this sideways, I believe this way. Hold it sideways so that you're able to kind of slide it on the end of the Z-bend and then turn it, and then kind of stick this in here. You may be able to do that, but the safer bet is to go back up to the fuselage and disconnect either the control arm from the servo, which is probably easier, or disconnect the quick connector, which is the little golden thing that clamps down on the on this end of the. It's too dark. On this end, it's in there. On this end of the push rod, and then the push rod will be free. Then you can just follow the steps in the manual, which basically has you hold this way out here, take the push rod out, connect it, and then kind of slide everything in. So that'd probably be the safer bet. And then you would go back over here, tighten in the control arm, or try to tighten up the push rod, and then you should be good to go. So this, then the vertical stab, and that's it. Thanks again. Hope that makes sense. If not, shoot me an email. Take care. Happy flying.